Thy sea float bark as safe as field-born rooted elm. Hey, I'm Ben White. This is Sundays Are Not Enough because Sundays are not enough. I'm coming to you from my little bedroom office here at my card table desk and kind of recreating a little bit of my journal writing that I've been working on here in January. It's the 13th of January when I'm recording this, so it might be Wednesdays. I'm doing it Wednesday. I think you'll get this tomorrow on Thursday. And I'm writing the entry in a book of strife in the form of a diary of an old soul by George MacDonald. He's my favorite. I love George MacDonald, this Victorian Scottish writer who wrote a lot about Jesus and wrote a lot, including a little 6-line poem for every day of the year in this diary of an old soul. And on January 13th, the poetry kind of connects loosely to each other as it kind of passes through. I imagine he just wrote it in his journal, and it was his diary, and I get to kind of go along with it. I've decided that I need to write down the day's little poem in my journal every day. Maybe I really like to do it like before the sun rises, before my children rise, really. And sometimes I miss it. So it's Wednesday evening, and I'm done with the day's work, and I'm getting back to Diary of an Old Soul, and I need to write it in my journal. And I just copied it in. And then it's like an excuse to get into my journal, because journaling, as we were discovering and practicing at the online Sunday meeting this past Sunday, when Julie spoke and Bryant led us to practice, we were learning about just what comes out when you get pen to paper. And this might not be for everyone, and it might not be for you in this particular season. You might not be able to steal away the time or focus for long enough. That's okay. But the process of writing in your journal is a recommended one as a way to pray, to think about how God is present in your life, what it is you're longing for. Sometimes you're not even aware until you start writing. And I like the discipline that gets me into it. I always need some kind of pretense, some kind of project to make it happen. So it's January 13th, 2021. Thank goodness. 2021. And this is the poem that George MacDonald wrote, more than 100 years ago. The idle flapping sail is doubt. Faith swells it full to breast the breasting seas. Bold conscience, fast and rule the ruling helm. Hell's freezing north no tempest can send out, but it shall toss thee homeward to thy lees. Boisterous wave crest never shall overwhelm thy sea float bark as safe as field-born rooted elm. Okay, that's some fancy language, lots of boating imagery. You've got lees, Leas. You've got the helm. You've got a bark, which is another word for a boat. That might be it. But let me read it one more time, because I love this kind of poetry. The idle flapping sail is doubt. Faith swells it full to breast the breasting seas. Bold conscience, fast and rule the ruling helm. Hell's freezing north no tempest can send out, but it shall toss thee homeward to thy lees. Boisterous wave crest never shall o'erwhelm thy sea float bark as safe as field-born rooted elm. I really like that last line, if you're getting it. That this boat that's kind of getting tossed about in the waves, no matter what hell's freezing north throws at you, no wave crest is going to overwhelm you, because your boat, when blown by faith, is as safe as a field-born elm. Like you're like a tree planted by the water, as it says in Psalm 1. I like that imagery, and I like to have something beautiful to help my heart wake up, because I usually do this in the morning, and to think about what he's actually trying to say, because he says it in this Victorian way. He says it in this poetic way. It helps me connect my head and my heart, and then I'm able to think about, well, what is God saying to me in this? And that's just for me in my journal. But I'm going to write in it now and think about how I need to feel rooted, and what doubts might be kind of flapping about in need of some faith. What conscience, what is my conscience telling me that I need to steer towards? What kind of wave crest is coming over my head that is tempting to overwhelm me? All that stuff is good for a little time of reflection, and it's just anything can set you off on it. For me, this year it's going to be George MacDonald. I read the Daily Prayer later. I've used the Daily Prayer, circleofhope.net/daily prayer and Daily Prayer Deeper as that kind of touchstone in many years. So I'll read that later when I get to my email. And for now, I'm going to be with George MacDonald as the little heart-opening, head-connecting piece of prayer that helps me warm up to what God is going to do then in my life. And I'm going to do that now. Oh, but before I totally finish, join us at circleofhope.net/online meeting to keep going in this conversation, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and like this video and share it around if you think it'll be helpful to anybody you know. Love ya. See you soon.